Hey guys, it's Bub here, and in this video we're taking a look at Windows XP Vienna. Now in the past we've taken a look at Windows Vista Vienna, which I actually really loved. It is what I think Windows Vista should have been. But in this video we're taking a look at another version which brings that Vienna theme to Windows XP. I'm actually not entirely sure if Windows XP Vienna and Windows Vista Vienna are the same developer. I don't think they are. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm very eager to take a look at this build. I really like taking a look at these older custom builds of Windows because I just think they're interesting. So one thing that I'm seeing here is that Setup cannot find any hard disks, which is a lie because I have a SCSI drive. Now I wonder if it won't take SCSI drives. Because I have had this issue in the past, but it's Windows. This was the default VMware Windows XP config. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an IDE drive as well as a SATA drive. So it'll have all the types of drives that it could possibly want. We have SATA, SCSI, and IDE. And let's just see which one this picks up. I've never actually had a build of Windows XP not find a SCSI drive. But we'll find out what this does. Hopefully that one of our either the SATA or the IDE drive gets picked up, because that would be bad if we can't actually get a hard drive to install to. Alright, and it found one of the drives. We're going to do a quick format because it is a blank drive, and then I think we're going to move into the setup phase. Alright, so it brought us back to here, and it's showing us partitions. I don't know what that just did. I don't know why it brought us back there, but I guess it's copying files now. That was weird. I've never had a version of Windows XP do that to me before. Hopefully that it's meant to do that and we don't have a bugged version of Windows XP Vienna. That would be kind of bad. Let's see what happens when we reach 100%. Windows is going to initialize, and now it's going to reboot. I think it just booted right back into the... I wonder if it's because we have 3 hard drives plugged into this system. That might be why. So let me take the CD drive out. Yeah, it is most definitely the fact that we have 3 hard drives in this system. There's no way it's not. Now my question is, which hard drive did we actually install to? So I think I can see in here, well, it's obviously not the SCSI drive, and it's obviously not the SATA drive, because we can see that the current size of the IDE drive is larger. So hopefully taking those 2 out, there we go. Windows could not boot because of a hardware config problem. We're already having such a fun time with Windows XP Vienna. What I'm going to do is I'm going to boot into the ISO, and then I'm going to reformat this. Now that we know which hard drive is actually, we now know what hard drive it installs to. So I'm going to delete all the partitions. I'm going to do a fresh install, and let's see what happens. Alright, so that worked. I think it was just an issue with our hard drive config, but we're now booting into Windows XP Vienna. And as you saw, that was the Windows Vista startup screen. And this is a very unique setup screen for Windows XP. So we're going to let this go through, and then I'll be back once we're in some level of out-of-box experience. Alright, and here we are in the Windows XP out-of-box experience. The first thing that I've seen is that our cursor is a regular, like, Windows Vista cursor. And as you just saw, the loading bar was Windows Vista, which actually is really weird looking in Windows XP. So we're going to name this Vienna. Next. And finish. I love that it doesn't even prompt us to enter a password. It just goes straight through. And look at that. This looks like Windows Vista right now. I would never be able to tell this was Windows XP just by this. The cursor, wallpaper, it's all there and looks like Windows Vista. Right, and here we are. We had a lot of stuff come up on the desktop already. But what I want to do is I want to try and get VMware Tools on here so that we can have a better view, but that might be a problem if File Explorer just froze. But straight off the bat, as I'm waiting, here we go. Let's just run we can have a better view, better performance of the operating system. Alright, and here we are. We have a lot to take a look at on the desktop here, so let's get into it. As you can see right here, we have all of our default icons, which there's a lot more than typical Windows, including My Documents, My Computer, My Network Places, Internet Explorer, Core Temp, which I'm very curious to see what this says. Yeah, it's not reading anything because it's a virtual processor. File Menu Tools, which enables it. Okay, I'm going to stop clicking on stuff. Hardware Monitor, Resources Hacker, Rocket Dock, Thumbwin, True Transparency, Ultra Explorer, YZ Shadow. This version of Windows requires a fresh install. No. I don't know. That's weird. Then we have this thing, which I believe this is Windows 7 dock, and it has all sorts of things on it. For example, email, Internet Explorer. We have the trash bin. It has just a whole bunch of default stuff already here ready for us to use. That could get annoying at times, as it's also in the taskbar, but if we close it, it goes away. We then also have, this is called Vienna Navigator. It's also an app that can be minimized. So it looks like we have widgets by default, CPU utilization, shortcut to the recycle bin, and a clock. And then over here we have some navigation controls. Oh, so this just must be the controller for all of it, or the menu. We can turn all of these back on, and yeah. So this is like our widget control. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And then we also have StarDock at the top here to kind of make like a Mac OS theme. And it also looks like we have Firefox installed, but it lied. There is no Firefox. Internet Explorer, Media Player, Control Panel, and Recycle Bin. So that's an interesting amount of things that have been added already. Right-click on the desktop, we can see all of these extra icons and right-click context menu things. Command line, copy to, move to, synchronize, attributes. We have a whole bunch of new stuff here. Let's take a look down here in the system tray. Windows security alerts, Uber icon. I think that's what that said. Top desk, safely remove hardware. The volume, which is a custom sound. We have VMware tools as well as your typical Windows XP things. Again, you need to remember, we're not looking at Windows Vista. No. We are looking at Windows XP right now. Of course, the taskbar is themed like Windows Vista, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The clock is also, or the time is actually unique. I actually do kind of like this, although I don't think it would be very practical in modern day usage. Opening the start menu, we can see a start menu that looks exactly like Windows Vista with our hibernate mode, our lock screen. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. My Documents, Recent Documents, Pictures, Music, Computer, Control Panel, Defaults, Connect to, Search, and Run. And then in all programs, so instead of switching like Windows Vista does, it brings up a new pop-out menu like Windows XP. And this just looks like all of our typical Windows XP applications. Nothing too special. Even 3D pinball is included here. That is, the most important thing we could have possibly had in this OS. I also noticed this, that we have another little pop-out window for the left side of our screen that will let us quick access My Computer, My Documents, Windows Media Player, Internet Explorer, and the Recycle Bin. While we're here, I want to take a look at the actual File Explorer. So let me open up My Computer here. First of all, let's take a look at these window borders. This looks like something straight out of Windows Longhorn, which it probably is. It's not true transparent, but it's like a kind of fake transparent, and I do like it a lot. We then have a nice green bar here. I know that is straight out of Windows Longhorn. Then we have files on this computer with the Windows Vista theme icons, local disk with the XP or with the Windows Vista icon, and then our VMware Tools ISO, which actually got remounted to the Windows XP Vienna ISO. As you can see here, we are actually using 3.3 gigabytes of space, which compared to modern versions of Windows is nothing. That's actually kind of impressive. Task Manager shows that we're using 314 megs of RAM and 0% CPU usage, so honestly not bad. This VM only has 1 gig of RAM, so actually this is page file usage, not RAM usage. So it's using 305 megabytes of page file, sorry, not RAM. And let's just see if we can get Run open to see that this is actually called Windows Vista X. but in reality, this is Windows XP. As you can see here, build 2600, that is Windows XP. So with that being said, this is just a brief overview of Windows Vienna XP. Quite a unique build. It comes with a lot of bloat, but honestly, I prefer this kind of bloatware over the bloatware that we see in modern day versions of Windows 11 and 10. I can put up with this. I mean, this stuff, yes, it's extra stuff that isn't really necessary, but it's not invasive like the modern day vanilla versions of Windows 10 and 11. So with that being said, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe if you're new around here, as I do all kinds of different technology videos, including device restorations. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.